Good morning. I just woke up and was like, oh, I should do something for back to school. Um, okay, so for high school, I'm gonna be a senior, and it's really exciting, but it's also really stressful. Not only with like the amount of work and like college applications and all that shit, but also like, oh my god, you're getting old, like you're not a kid anymore, and that's putting me through an existential crisis. Um, but I think that this will be like preparation for high school, advice, and maybe like some organization, is everybody already knows what I use for like, I guess, my school supplies and shit. But my first piece of advice, and this goes for all grades, not just like incoming freshmen, like it's just everybody, keep it inclusive. Um, So, first is make friends with your teachers. Because, okay, now this doesn't mean that you have to be like riding your teacher's dick. It's like, you just, be friendly with them. Like, ask them, like, how their day is going. I don't know. If you treat them like a person and not just your teacher, you're gonna gain that mutual respect for each other. And I promise you, it's gonna do you wonders. Because so far, every year of high school, I've either been like really chill with at least most of my teachers or all of them. And honestly, it has saved my ass in so many cases. Now, that's not to be expected because just because you're friends with them doesn't necessarily mean like they are still your teacher, so they still have to do their job. But like, let's say you forget to do your homework, but they know that you work long shifts at night. They could just be like, okay, get it to me by the end of the day. Or honestly, in best case scenario, they just mark it that like you have it and it's fine. That's happened to me before where I just literally never came to class. It was first period though. I wasn't just like always skipping out, even though I was totally always skipping out. But like my teacher, he ended up giving me like a 97 out of 100 to balance out the fact that I was failing my tests. So, and like he just, if you keep if you keep open communication with them and like they understand what's going on in your life and things that you have to go through and things that you have to do, or even if you just like have something in common, like yeah, even though your teacher is your teacher, they are also still a person. Like they also have things that they like to do outside of school, and they have to stress about shit too, and like it's a two-way street when it comes to the relationship that you have with them. And I just think that that's really important because it doesn't mean that you have to like bring them coffee every morning and like have to put your first hand up like whenever, oh my god, that sentence totally got butchered. I'm still waking up. Doesn't mean that you have to like throw your hand up the moment they ask a question and like you have to be the smartest fucking kid in class. Just be the nicest. Honestly, like if you're nice to everyone in the class but you don't take shit from the asshole kids and you're nice to your teacher, like, oh my god, you're gonna go far. um Other one, get your shit done. Let me tell you, I procrastinate. I will use my job as an excuse, and I'm really, really trying to work on that this year when it comes to getting my schoolwork done. Um, because if you're absent one day, like even if it's just one day in high school, holy shit. You are literally set back one lesson in each of the 9 classes that you're taking, or in each of however many classes you're taking, because they're going to expect like that night, even though you might need a day, like a mental health day, or you're physically sick or whatever it may be, that one day, like during the day, you're gonna be like, oh my god, thank god I don't have to go to school, like I'm dying. Um, no, because that night and the next night after that, you're gonna have double the workload and it's really fucking stressful. Email your teachers that morning. Like, I mean, 6 a.m. I don't give a shit if you decided, like, last night that you were gonna stay home tomorrow. You wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning because it's going to be more of a convenience for you. Girls with raspy voices. It's gonna be more of a convenience for you when you get your work in at like, let's say 10 a.m. and then you could just work on it throughout the day even though you probably just want to rest. Get it done, honestly, because like, it's gonna end up piling up and it's gonna smack you in the face and you're not gonna know what to do and it's gonna be really fucking stressful and then you're gonna need to take another mental health day or another sick day, whatever the fuck. And that's just gonna be a cycle that continues because you're gonna keep trying to catch up, but every time you take a day off to catch up, you're only creating more work for yourself. That's something that I had to learn a very difficult way. The other one is to create good habits. So this kind of coincides with like getting your work done. If you know what your schedule looks like, if you know what your week looks like because of routine and just, you know, getting it back in the flow of things, work around that. I know for a fact that I will be working anywhere from like 3 to 4 days at my job, and to me, I'm like, okay, whatever, that's fine, that's nice and all. And it's usually like a 7 to 7.5 hour shift after school. And usually I'll just like go on my phone. I'm like, you know, I'm at work. Like, I can't get my work done. Yes, you can. If you know, like, you're going somewhere, but you can get your work done, get your work done. If you know, like, even just studying and like making flashcards or shit like that. Like, if you have to go on a trip somewhere, like, bring it with you. Like, just get it done because honestly, like, it's not gonna leave you. Like, if you don't think about it, your assignment isn't just gonna disappear. And I know that's shitty and it's annoying, but high school, like, really actually is important. And everybody who's in college is gonna tell you, like, whatever, like, it's really not that bad. Or, like, it really doesn't matter that much. But it does, especially if you want to go straight to a 4-year school. Like, honestly, I would totally recommend going to Nassau for 2 years because it's an awesome community college. Get your associates, you get all the basics out, and you don't have to worry about, like, paying an incredible loads of money just to do the same shit that a community college would do. But, especially Nassau is really good. But, like, if you slack in high school, like, that's gonna reflect on you. Especially to my freshman and sophomore year friends. Like, if I'm telling you, like, these are the easiest fucking years of high school. Like, you literally don't have to do shit. Sometimes, like, I remember hearing, like, 8th grade was harder than 9th grade. And that's probably true, because I don't remember shit from my first years of high school. But all I remember is that I put as much fucking effort into everything that I did freshman and sophomore year. And let me tell you how much that saved my ass junior year. Because junior year is going to beat you up in the worst way possible. Like, it's gonna get everything. Like, you're gonna, oh my god, that's a whole other fucking video. But if you manage to keep your GPA pretty high during freshman and sophomore year, that's going to help even things out if it lowers during junior year. Like, for example, I was like a 93, 94 student all of freshman to sophomore year, and then during junior year, it dropped down to like an 85, which isn't bad, like, that's average, but that was a 9 to 8 point drop from what I originally was, and like that, you know, that's a lot. The other thing, oh my god, just please don't be that asshole. Like, oh my god. There's always that one kid in the class who thinks that he's really fucking funny for being disrespectful, who thinks that, you know, he can, like, put his feet on the desk, or that he can say whatever the fuck he pleases. No, that's annoying. Don't do that, and I will call you out on that. And if you do see that there's an asshole like that in your class, call him out. You don't have to be rude about it, but just be like, I don't know what that, you know what I mean. But just be like, hey, like, cut the shit. Because it's really annoying and everybody else in the classroom is thinking about it except for probably their friends. And honestly, I know, this is such, it's almost always a guy. It's almost always a guy that's gonna be the asshole. And I don't understand why teachers like them sometimes. Like that, I'm just like, they're annoying the entire fucking class. Alright, well, anyway. If you're that asshole, cut it out. If you see someone being that asshole, tell them to cut it out. Because it's annoying, and it's probably annoying the teacher, and nobody wants to have to deal with that. So, anyway, my most important, I guess, like, piece of advice for high school would be, this is literally a years of self-discovery. When I walked through the doors of blank blank high school, I realized I should probably start censoring myself. I had like super short hair. Half of it was shaved. I wore like bright purple lipstick. Like, oh my god, it was awful. But at the time, I loved it, so I don't really regret doing it. But like, this is such a time to, you know, explore different styles, explore different types of self-expression. Like, if you want to, I mean, if your parents allow it, and my parents didn't really allow it, but like getting piercings and like dyeing your hair and like, I don't know, listening to different types of music. I'm not encouraging an emo phase. Everybody goes through that though. I went through a slight one. But no, seriously, like, this is such a time. Because here, let me tell you a secret, is that with most grades, at least with my grade, like, after middle school, like, popularity just kind of vanished. Like, everybody just kind of melted into each other. And of course you still have those friend groups that you know were like, well, those are the popular girls, those are the sporty popular girls, those are like the art girls, those are whatever the fuck, whatever the case may be. Everybody, like, nobody gives a shit. Like, as long as you're a nice person and you're open and welcoming to everybody, like, you're really not gonna have an issue with popularity, because it really doesn't exist at our high school. I mean, at least in my eyes, it really doesn't. I mean, like, you just know what, like, the tiers are because of middle school, honestly. But I wouldn't, like, everybody talks to each other. Like, nobody's gonna look at you and be like, I can't talk to you because you're below me. Like, and if they do, like, step on them. Like, who cares? You're also, but in this, like, you're either gonna stick with your friend group from middle school for a little while until you branch out, or you might, like, end up going in different directions than them, and that's okay. I know that I had, like, this really awesome friend group from middle school, and I was probably, like, really in there from, like, freshman to sophomore year, and then I, like, started to get out a little bit, and, like, that's okay, because, like, we're all chill now, and it was never really an issue. But you're gonna find out, like, who your real friends are. You're gonna find out who the friends are that are gonna end up having an expiration date, which is senior graduation. You're gonna know who you can trust and who's just fun to hang out with and who's your plug, and you're gonna figure out all these things, and it's gonna be really, really fun, and it's gonna be really interesting figuring it out. But then you're gonna hit senior year and you're gonna be like, where the fuck did my life go? And you're gonna reflect and think back to 5th grade graduation when you were singing, as we go on, we remember all the times we had together. See? And then you're just gonna be depressed for the next 2 days. But I guess, like, that's my advice. Overall, just be nice. Be nice to your teachers. Remember that they're a person. Be nice to everyone. I feel like I shouldn't really have to say that, but I feel like with, you know, with some of the people that go to, you're gonna, and I'm not just saying this, like, for our town, I'm saying this for everywhere, because, you know, you grow up and you're like, oh my god, I hate this town is so awful. The Long Island came out. But, like, I used to be like that about this place, but honestly, like, I'm so lucky that I got to grow up here, and even though, like, there are a lot of assholes here, there are a lot of assholes in the next town, and the next town, and the next town, and you're just gonna find them everywhere, so there's no point in really complaining about it and wishing that you were somewhere else. Just deal with it and focus on the people that you found, and make sure that you text them and be like, you're a gem, I love you. Yeah, so that's it. Have fun your first day of school. And when you're picking out your first day of school outfit, make sure that, I don't know, I was gonna say, create a funny title for it. That's what I want you to do. I want you to create a funny title for your first day of school outfit, because I texted a bunch of my friends and was like, hey, this outfit is called the Cozy Minimalistic Lesbian that you know has a fuck Trump pin on her backpack, but you don't even need her to turn around for you to know it. Like, it was spot on. And you'll all see that. Alright, bye-bye.